Bon. Espérons que les dialogues c'est fini. Oh non. Il y a encore un mec à qui parler. S'il te plaît, me dis rien. C'est bon. Bon, Dohalim il a tué quelqu'un. Bon, est-ce que c'est vraiment différent de nous qui en avait tué 1 million? Je pense pas. Hein. S'il vous plaît, donnez-nous un donjon. Même info. Oh god, encore. Oh, je sais plus quoi penser. Hein. On n'en verra jamais le bout de cette ville. Mec, je viens de faire 3 patchs impairs. Oh mon dieu. J'ai fait plus de 3 patchs impairs là. Heureusement qu'on a fini Elden Ring il y a pas longtemps et on peut être heureux de se dire qu'on a fini un jeu au final. Mais là ça va, on va enchaîner 2 jeux qu'on aura fini. Ça sera beau pour la liste. Ça sera beau pour la liste. C'est vrai qu'elle aime bien manger épicé. Ah oui c'est joli hein. Oh là waouh c'est beau. Oh c'est la citadelle de ouf en vrai. Dommage ça continue pas sur les côtés. Bon ça aurait été trop copié quand même. Faut copier mais faut pas trop copier. En fait c'est long. Ah oui. Y'a un hibou? Ah non c'est une auberge. C'est marrant que personne ne soit venu encore nous attaquer ou quoi. Genre la police, les informations, tout le monde s'en fout hein. Oh le GCD insane.
Wow, this place is beautiful.
Yeah. It must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
Il faut un faux flingue pour me tirer une balle de temps en temps.
Man, these Renin sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnagan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnagan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnagan and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
Oh, c'est comme dans Tales of... non. Tales in the Sky, Legend of Heroes. L'autre là et sa musique.
Everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagan and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagan had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagan was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less. She would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty. Instead, I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right.
Oh, ça nous espionne là.
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
Medic! Pas d'objet là camouflé? Dommage.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
Le ranch? Ah, tu vois qu'on a des animaux? Ah oui. Du laport. Ah oui, des lapins cochons. Peut-être pas du cheval quoi. Alors. Oh, Gladius René. Bah oui du coup hein. Ah. Gladius René. Historia René, lumière éclatante 3. Cestus René. C'est les trucs des Réniens quoi. Oh là là. Ah il est beau hein. J'ai envie de faire les deux. Du coup elle il lui manque quoi? Crinière sombre. Et elle crinière sombre. Ok il me faut 3 crinières sombres et des crocs de titan déchirants. Bref. On va choper ça rapidement en vrai. Acheter, vendre. Je pense que je peux acheter des armures, oui. Code de diamant, robe de diamant, pimpin de diamant. Il faut appuyer 4 ou 5 fois sur OK pour acheter l'objet. Hein. Attention pour me faire de l'argent, je crois que c'est pas compliqué dans le jeu. Je sais plus comment on fait mais on peut s'en faire, c'est OK. Créer accessoires. Écoutez, non.
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
Moi, ça fait tellement longtemps que je vais pas, je pense. J'avais pas attaque 1 si voilà ici. En fait, ça fait tellement longtemps que je vais pas. Je vais plus refaire d'accessoires jusqu'à la fin du jeu. Hein. Ouais, je me rappelle en plus c'était vraiment long et pénible. Donc on va laisser tomber hein, les accessoires. On va faire avec ceux que j'avais déjà fait la dernière fois. Je crois pas qu'il y ait au-dessus. Ah, enfin!
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Ah bah. Alors comment on joue encore? Triangle. Triangle. Ok, je me rappelle plus ou moins. Comment on fait des roulades? ACR2. ACR1 tapé. Et là faut rester enfoncé sur la touche, non? À toutes les touches c'est une attaque. Non. Quand tu restes enfoncé sur... Attends, X. Ouais. Et pourquoi je reste enfoncé sur L1? Non, je sais plus. Vers ça c'est sauter. Y'a pas une touche que je gardais enfoncée? R1. Non? Je sais plus. Bon, ça s'est bien passé.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't the least bit. Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, and yet, traditionally, Lenegus hasn't been high on threats.
Their glazed over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we.
Ouais, bref, ils sont possédés quoi. Ils sont possédés,
What with the red woman, the
Ok, ils sont possédés et la femme rouge est peut-être liée à tout ça quoi. On a compris, on a compris. Faut avancer. Il a fallu 3 jours pour que le truc disparaisse. Ah, ok, par là c'est la bonne route, merde. Je vais de raisin. Je crois que je me buffais aussi au début de combat, je crois. Y'a pas un R1 qui traîne ici? Non. Ok, là ça rebouge la caméra. On peut pas taper en attaquant, non? On peut pas attaquer avant de rentrer dans le combat. Il y avait moyen de... Ah non, ça c'est pour changer de cible. Mais comment tu changes du mob que t'attaques? Ah c'est gauche-droite. Non parce que là je change... Ah c'est avec le stick. Je réussis pas à cibler... Ah si voilà. Je crois que je vais rester enfoncé sur triangle là. Ça a l'air d'être bien à 3000, 3000. Ah oui, après faut appuyer sur... Oh, j'ai raté. Mais comment je faisais? Ah enfin j'ai compris. Ok ok. Faut ces touches, faut pas les rater hein. Crinière sombre. Ah bah c'est bon. Oula. Lui c'est dur non? Alors je sais que je dois dodge ça. C'était quoi qui faisait les dégâts? C'était acuité? Ah oui ok. Et j'ai roulade. Lucie il a un truc cœur de lion non? Ils sont pas censés avoir des points faibles? Non, visiblement. Mais... J'ai dodge et ça part pas. Ça va pas revenir ces embrouilles à l'ancienne là. Mais c'est vrai qu'il y a... Oh là là. C'est vrai que c'est Animation Log V. Si je suis déjà en train de faire un truc, c'est mort pendant longtemps. Ah mais j'étais en Shawn Rain Alpha là. Y'a pas moyen de faire un truc d'attaque de feu, je sais plus quoi. Je crois que tu peux faire une attaque de feu, mais je sais plus trop comment. Ah si, voilà comme ça. Ah mais j'ai plus de PV. C'est ça l'embrouille. Ok, ça me revient maintenant. Lightning Tiger Blade. Ça me revient, ça me revient.
We may be a touch beyond our depth.
We barely got a look at the thing. Get lost! Here goes!
I see one. You picked the wrong fight.
I need to pull myself together. There!
Blew
How's
away.
this? If you won't bow out nice.
Ah mais je tape même pas les bons mobs. Ah mais je réussis même pas à le cancel. Ah, mais j'aurais dû juste le taper, il lui restait rien comme PV. Oh là là. Ok les shields faut que je garde l'autre pour les péter. Merde. Et du coup je l'ai pas et c'est chiant. Ouais. Oh là mais je prends des dégâts gratos. Ah bah c'est bon, il y a l'eau. Voilà. Mais quand je tue quelqu'un faut que je spam la touche attaque pour me TP vers le suivant, je crois que c'est ça le truc. Oh. Merde, je l'ai jamais fait. D'habitude quand quelqu'un il meurt il y a un flash. Oui, mal vu. Ok, je peux crafter les armes je pense. Yep. Un peu après. Shortcake. Oh pas lui. Lui aussi faut l'empêcher de dodge, je crois. Ah bah c'est bon, j'ai le pouvoir de l'empêcher de dodge. Oh mais y'en a marre, ils sont jamais là quoi. Oh voilà, c'est ça le problème, c'est quand les jauges se remplissent pas là. C'est bon. Le gameplay un peu de travers mais ça me revient. Bon en plus on a fini. Attends, on venait de là-bas, bah oui, mollet. Mais ils sont partout hein. Ah, je vais essayer de me buffer mais j'ai rien de garder Les points quand même. On a les tests de récupération de GA. Mais c'était pas ça, non? Et mieux, barrière. Mais ça, c'est pas des dégâts, la récupération de GA. Concentration, plus de critiques. Et après, il y a l'autre. Ah, mais c'est elle qui met les deux en fait. Oh, faut qu'elle me mette acuité. Ok. C'est vraiment ça qui fait les dégâts. Hein. Il m'a jamais mis acuité. Hein. Ce jeu marche pas. Oh je bourre. Oh là là, la survie à un PV. Mais j'ai dodge trop tôt. Save me. Save me guys, save me. T'as la dodge tranquille. Putain mais il m'attaque plus. Ah mais quand tu auto-attaques, tu regagnes même pas ta jauge. C'est quoi ce jeu nul? Merde. J'avais pas la main sur la souris. Comme l'animé. Tadadada, oui, par là. On va à droite. Pour commencer. Le carré sous la minimap, c'était juste un bonus. Hein. Pas besoin d'y faire attention, quoi. Juste on le vit, quoi. On vit le bonus. Oh, on n'a pas d'Oalim de ready, au secours. Je crois que je vais faire le truc de l'attaque de feu ici. Il y a beaucoup de mobs. J'aurais jamais dû, c'est ça. Ah, ils m'ont cancel mon truc intestable. À quoi ça sert de faire le truc intestable alors? Je ne vois rien. Oh mais quand il y a des ads ce jeu hein. Mais au secours quoi. Bla 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 magic. Bah tout le monde est mort. J'ai pas compris comment les gros sont morts hein. Juste ils sont morts. Ah oui. Ah oui oui oui. Ah oui. Oh le loot. Ah ça je me rappelle. C'est un objet qu'il faut donner à Adol. Pas Adol. PV max. Ouais c'est Adol ça. Il y en a encore un. Adol. Non non non. Parce que nos potes ils font que mourir bêtement donc et que le truc devient un peu critique. Ça sert à rien. Peut-être remettre des PS à un moment. Ah, c'est vrai c'est des dodgers. Padadam. Oh là là, quand t'as pas le stick enfoncé et que tu fais roulade, tu recules en arrière comme dans Dark Souls. Les pires phases. Blue away, raising slash, blue away, raising slash. Oh là là. Merci. 66. On a même pas pris la moitié, ça va. Ça va, ça va. On est large, on est large. On dit-il en prenant quand même un objet. C'est quoi qui remet des PS? J'essaie de faire des trucs, ça marche pas, bro. Mais qui est-ce que je focus là? Oui. Arrête le... Oh, c'est bon. Et les combats c'est brouillon de ouf hein. J'avais pas rêvé le brouillonnage hein. Oh, y'en a marre, revenez ici. T'as même pas eu de combattre les mobs. Merci. Au moins elle a wildfiré leurs dents là. Merci Shion. 21 000 $. Leur système monétaire est tellement à chier qu'ils ont juste mis de l'argent dans des coffres. Hein. Rodokoro. On va les sauvegarder. Non, d'habitude il y a un cercle vert avant un boss. Quelle connerie on va découvrir.
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereign's only.
The Red Lady. Ou alors l'autre vieux. Alors c'est vrai, c'est nous, on est souverains. J'avais oublié. Enfin, le souverain, on est souverain. Oh le son. C'était censé être aussi dégueulasse?
If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Oh yo. Oh les souvenirs. C'est moi ça.
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Danon. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for. Let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they They said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
Glory to mankind.
Like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
Ils ont tous eu le flashback?
Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alvin was speaking to, she looked exactly like Shion.
Oh.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Elle l'a dit dans la cutscene flashback, hein.
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alvin was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Dès que c'est le bordel, on dit que c'est la femme rouge, c'est ça? L'explication à
The
tout.
moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Danon astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense.
Mm.
After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegus. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Oui, un bouc émissaire, c'est ça.
Shion.
Dès qu'on
you
comprend
okay?
pas, c'est la femme en rouge.
Yeah. It was all just a little sudden.
Mm.
That's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Ok, let's go.
Nobody's here.
Oh,
Stay
c'est
sharp.
joli.
After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in
Oh,
here.
l'intérieur du mur, il est trop stylé. Oh ouais, chez moi, je veux des intérieurs de mur comme ça. Ouais, qu'on peut demander ça. Je vais demander couper dans le mur. Ah. Faut sauvegarder, ça veut dire. Comment on sauvegarde dans ce jeu? Ah, comme ça. J'aurais peut-être dû aller fabriquer des armes, mais pas besoin. Alors qu'est-ce qui se passe? J'ai oublié de remettre les vrais vêtements à Shion maintenant que j'y pense. Comment quoi? Qu'est-ce que... Ah non, elle a été possédée par la femme en rouge. Ouais. C'est la femme en rouge. C'est toujours la faute.
She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
Aïe aïe aïe. La perle d'ombre. Ah, comme ça. À travers le néant directement.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of
Preposterous.
power
We can talk later. Here it comes.
Démon laser. Ah, on sait ce qu'il va faire.
I've never known
Oh, il m'a mis au sol instant. Genre il a rien fait, juste il m'a mis au sol. C'est moi, il vient de one shot tout le monde.
First we handle the Dougal. Then we get some answers.
Go for the weak point!
Ok, on se buff.
A wall to shield from calamity. I can carve through all try harder. Resonate with the earth. Lightning flash. On your
Et je crois que j'ai un autre buff ici, cœur de lion. Et ensuite la petite elle peut me faire concentration. Oh, oh mais il arrête pas de faire des dégâts lui. Il peut pas s'arrêter. C'est quand je lui brise le cristal là. Il brille même pas son cristal. Ah c'est bon. Vite il faut que j'obtienne des dégâts. Oh dodge. J'essaie d'enchaîner des esquives, j'y arrive pas. Oh je vais juste bourrer hein. Ah il est mid-life, let's go, let's go. Ça va, ça descend vite, je remarque même pas. Spam triangle, la seule touche qui marche dans le jeu. Est-ce que son cristal est revenu? Non. Oula. Elle a tué Rin tranquille hein. Blab. 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 Au secours. Ah mais en fait il se téléporte puis il attaque là-bas. Non mais raisez-moi là. Je sais pas qui va taper mais... Ok il a tapé le vent. On va se rebuff parce qu'on a tout perdu. Et de toute façon ils avaient déjà dissipé. Les buffs restent pas longtemps dans le jeu. Oula. Oh le bâtard. Barrière. Mais d'où je suis mort? Ah il a fait laser. Au secours. Au secours, au secours, au secours. J'ai envoyé tous les autres mettre des attaques. Hein. Si. Hein. On l'a bourré. Alors qu'est-ce qu'elle a elle?
Now it's just her. Faria, can you hear me? Faria.
She's preparing another summoning.
Alors là faut l'en empêcher quand même.
Powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more. Dohalim.
Forgive me.
Il lui a mis avec toute la haine qu'il avait. Ça t'apprendra, connasse. Et t'as pardon, mais prends ça.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Shion, please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even
Ça
supposed
va, elle
to
s'est
be in
juste pris
here.
une patate.
Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case,
I'll take her off your hands.
You?
Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnigan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
Oh, le petit thème de violon de lui et ses potes.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzelik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnigan, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as
Et c'est
expendable.
reparti.
Indeed.
Ah, l'envie de sauver le monde.
Is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim.
Oh, je vous jure, c'est pas un problème, mais c'est le fait qu'il le bourre dans toutes les cutscenes. C'est infini.
No amount of soul searching or forgiveness.
Allez, c'est bon,
No,
c'est
the
bon.
opposite, in fact. You remember. You never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already passed, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we
So
can
long,
make a difference
Bowser.
in the lives of others. Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go.
Only fixing the problem in its stead.
That's right.
Don't forget.
Shion,
Oh, c'est bon, c'est bon.
you have my deepest gratitude.
Glad to be.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting
Oh god.
her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
D'où je suis venu?
We're on the same team, right?
Faria le pion. Oh, encore une cutscene, attendez. Je vais changer sa tenue, moi. Il a pas mieux? Et la version rouge.
let's move on.
Pas vraiment.
Do you think Faria was really being controlled by someone?
C'est obligatoire.
Certainly seemed that way. The question is, who? The Red Woman?
The same person who's behind all of this, I'll bet. Whoever that is.
Brainwashed or otherwise, the feelings of resentment she holds towards me are real.
Someone used her because they knew we'd hold back. If that's not playing dirty, I don't know what is.
It does tell us one thing at least. Someone here in Lenegis is watching us. Someone who
Oh, les
means us
visages, les
harm.
visages énervés.
There's no question. That attack was meant for us alone.
By someone capable of getting inside a person and manipulate.
Je sais plus d'où je suis venu moi. Ah ok. Oh!
What is it, Rinwell? Do you hear something again?
Yeah. It's that voice.
The will of Dana's astral energy.
Ah! A new cutscene? More information. Hmm. Ouais, je sais que Dark Knight c'est insane.
What? There's so much astral energy. But where's it all coming from? It's almost like it's alive.
What? Mais il s'est fait posséder par Sauron des Lières. Solo et Sauron.
That was the spirit channeling ceremony just now.
C'est avec... Exactement, hein. Tu nous laisses avec nos animés nuls, hein. Et ton jeu FF là sur les patchs impairs, hein.
Like the whole world was seconds from
Oblivion. It's the same vision as
S'en
the one
bat
my
les
thorns
steaks.
showed. A vision of impenetrable darkness that swallows up us and everything else.
An
Du coup,
empty void.
il y avait tellement d'énergie
Nothing so complete
que
and
Sauron est né
dominating that there
quoi.
aren't even words to describe it. The end of time.
Comment ils abusent. Le néant absolu, la fin du monde. C'est des ronces. C'est des ronces. C'est ok.
So, everything we just saw, those were Naori's memories, right?
That's right. It was as if her innermost thoughts were speaking directly to us.
Mais du coup quoi, c'est venu de l'énergie astrale. L'énergie astrale c'est elle la démone.
It reminds me of Shion's thorns. If they're what's responsible for all these visions she's been having, then maybe...
Maybe my thorns are made from that same astral
C'est
energy.
ça. Comme disait je sais plus qui dans Metal Gear.
If that is the case, we just found the missing link between your thorns and what happened here 3 centuries ago.
C'est là que les ténèbres,
More than a link.
que la lumière la plus éclatante brille, que je trouve les ténèbres les plus machiavéliques.
If it's the same
Hein.
energy your thorns are made of,
Donc dans l'énergie astrale se trouve Sauron,
and isn't that something only Renans have?
Correct.
c'est
Dark
évident.
astral energy is possessed by Renans alone.
And when enough astral energy gathers together, it develops its own form of sentience. If so, maybe that complete oblivion is exactly what the Renan astral energy's will is wishing for. But why?
Donc les Daniens ils peuvent avoir l'énergie de lumière et les Réniens l'énergie démoniaque. Et en fait l'énergie démoniaque des Réniens est tellement grande qu'ils aspirent l'énergie lumière de Rena pour contrecarrer le démon de Sauron. C'est ça qu'ils font?
And if that's what's been showing us these visions, I don't know, should we really be getting so involved with this thing?
Dana's will would never want oblivion.
But you can't say that for sure.
Cut it out, you two. Squabbling over theories will get us nowhere.
Voilà, taisez-vous et écoutez maman Kisara.
Let's keep moving. If it's Dana's will showing us these memories,
Je sais plus qui dit ça. Si ça se trouve c'est dans un autre jeu. Hein.
if it could lead us to the truth, then
Je
I
m'en rappelle
want
plus
to
assez
find out
bien.
more.
Ça me revient plus.
Shion's right. All we can do is keep going.
Bah oui.
These really are Naori's memories we're watching. There could be truths in them I was never aware of. And I think they may be the kinds of truths I need to confront if we're going to keep fighting.
Moi je pense que c'est ça. Hein. C'est juste le côté démoniaque.
Come on, let's go.
Ok, let's go. Oh non. Il y avait un R1, il y avait un R1, j'ai fait un pas en avant et le jeu il m'a piqué le jeu.
Ceremony that occurred 3 centuries ago.
But we still don't know how to get rid of them. I just hope we can find a way.
J'ai fait un pas et j'ai perdu le R1.
We might very well learn the truth behind Shield. I have to be ready to face anything. I just need a little time.
J'ai donné the time. Vision.
That vision we saw, it was as if it was meant specifically for us.
What do you make of it? Do you still think the will of Dana might be involved?
J'ai besoin d'aller aux
somehow?
toilettes, je bois trop d'eau depuis tantôt. Je suis à 1,5 litre. Il me reste une autre petite bouteille pour faire 2
Well, it
litres.
could be supernatural. You know, like seeing dead people, messages from beyond the grave, ghost type stuff.
That's your grand theory? That we're being haunted? Come on, Law.
Wait. He might be closer to the mark than you think. What if a person's thoughts and deeds were to somehow become indelibly etched into the ether of a place? And what if those with a connection could then somehow pick up on them?
You think that's what it was? Some kind of message someone left here for us?
I am merely entertaining
Un
the
répondeur
possibility.
astral.
Whether it was Dana's will,
Une
or
carte
somehow connected
SD
to the Sovereign and Maiden's
astrale.
powers, I do not know.
Okay, back up a sec. You're saying that if a place is full of enough astral energy, it can somehow show us events that happened.
Vous demandez ce que je fais, hein. Je fais des passes avec
More
une
to the
bouteille d'eau.
point, how does that much astral energy gather in one place anyway? Seems unlikely it happened naturally.
Whatever it was, it survived here intact for 300 years. Whoever left it for us, the strength of their intent is beyond doubt.
The strength of their intent.
Détermination. Bon, la vidéo fait quoi? 1 heure. Faut que j'aille aux toilettes. C'est parfait pour faire une petite pause. Et puis aller sauver Rena. Peut-être crafter les armes qui nous manquent et revenir. Bon, tout de suite. Si la vidéo, si.